Is there a way to eventually reconcile Palamism with Latin theology, or is it impossible? Yeah, I think it depends because if you're going to interpret Palamos as most of the weird sort of Neo-Palamites do, then there is no way that you could do that. By that standard, Palamos is a heretic and a blasphemer. And all those who follow him are heretics and blasphemers if they interpret it in that sense. But there's others who will say that Palamos actually would believe something closer to what St. Thomas believed. It's just really hard because I don't think he nor the Greeks have ever really been clear thinkers. I don't mean that to be like super offensive. I think this is just a brute fact. And by clear thinker, I mean not that they're dumb, but that they don't put things with the same precision as Latins do. So they don't define their terms and make distinctions. So it's really hard to grasp the sense of what they're actually talking about. And that style has its strengths in some circumstances, but in the circumstances of doctrine of God, it's often to make something which is unclear very dogmatic is problematic, to say the least. So yeah, I hope that's a helpful answer. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot recently about how the Greeks do theology, and then how like there's 10 different interpretive traditions for how to read them. For example, with St. Thomas Aquinas, like there are very few interpretive issues where people are like fighting about, and they're actually seriously fighting about. But it feels like every single like Easterner, when they when they bring up these like when they bring up a new sort of school thing, there's often a few different schools which follow them, interpreting them in vastly different ways. And I think it is because of the Greek method of theology being a bit different. And it's the same way with early Latin theologians too. So this isn't to say that this is solely a Greek thing, because following St. Augustine, for example, there are multiple different schools. There's the Jansenists, there's the Scotists who believe they follow Augustine truth. There's the Augustinians who do. There's the Thomists who do. There's the Lutherans who do. There's the Reformed who do. There's a lot of different schools of thought who claim Augustine on very diverse issues, and it's because Augustine was at an age where the Scholastic, I think the Scholastic method is really what the reason why the West has excelled, well, at least the Roman Church has excelled everybody else in theology so far, because they're able to clearly understand the state of the question. They're clearly able to argue from their principles to their conclusions, and it really helps with building a system, with interpreting a theologian. We don't have to argue a lot about these weird sort of interpretive questions that everybody else brings up.